Hello racing fans, this is NASCAR Racing Fan 2015, and this paint scheme collab is going to be highly anticipated. Obviously, I just went to the Overtons 400 at the Chicagoland Speedway, and you know, Kyle Busch of course had to win. I was sick and tired of seeing, you know, all these drivers I don't like win. It seems like every time I go to a race, it's a driver I don't like that always gets the win. But at least the racing, the finish was good between Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch. So obviously that was fantastic, but what else was fantastic was some of the merchandise I got here. As I overpaid, I paid a combined $21 to get 2 exclusive cars at the Fanatics hauler. 2 cars that haven't even been out yet. One of them is obviously a driver that's made a lot of controversy. He has not made a lot of friends with the actions he's had on the track in recent weeks. I got his exclusive car that was at the Fanatics 10, and the other one, the official meme of NASCAR, as he finally got a top 10 last weekend at Daytona. I have his new car for 2018. This is certainly an interesting video, and I paid $21. Like I said, this better get skyrocketed views for these 2 exclusive cars. If not, then maybe I should consider quitting YouTube. Anyways, we have Dillon's 2018 Geico Chevrolet Camaro. And obviously I got this car at the Fanatics hauler. And wow, the Geico machine. Now I personally don't care for this car as much as last year's. I mean, just the white number is just stupid. I don't really like that. I would say this is a significant downgrade. It kind of reminds me of his 2014, 2015 Geico, or that was Casey Mears. That was his car. Kind of reminds me of that. You know, it's kind of white towards the top and to the back. And then the side has a lot of the designs. Before, you know, it had some stuff going on the A pillar, the B pillar, and through then. And with this car, it's perfectly clean. And now Dillon, like I said, the official meme of NASCAR. It was in the Geico military car. I believe they're making that car too. I might have to get that one maybe sometime in the future. But yeah, he finally got a top 10. And I heard a couple things saying, like, if he doesn't get a top 10 with all these big drivers crashing, you know, he should be fired. Well, honestly, Dillon shouldn't even be in this sport with how bad of a driver that he's been. I mean, 1 win in the Xfinity Series. What is he, 1 for 100? I mean, we're complaining about how Chase Elliott can't win in the Cup Series. Well, Dillon can't even win in the Xfinity Series. So that just shows how bad of a driver he is. And, you know, I'll probably get a lot of hate from this. If Dillon ever finds this video, I'll get a bunch of hate. But I'm just telling the truth. Dillon does not deserve his ride in Cup. And that's just it. So if I give this DieCast a rating, I have to give it a top 10. It's just all right. Actually, more like a top 15. It's not that great. It doesn't deserve a top 10. It's just all right. And now the last car we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and his 2018 Fastenal Ford Fusion. Oh my goodness. Now this wasn't the car that wrecked the entire field at Daytona. It was the Fifth Third Bank car. He wrecked 5/3 of the field, man, by taking out Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. But anyways, this Fastenal car, it's got a very different look from last year, as it kind of reminds me more of the Junior Motorsports days with kind of the Fastenal, the hood being blue. It kind of reminds me of those days. It looks like a nice piece. I'm really glad they changed it up. And it looks better on the DieCast. Originally, I did not like this car. I thought, you know, it just doesn't look that great. But I think with this, I really like some of the designs on the top. Just the blue kind of gels well. I really like some of Stenhouse's paint schemes. I mean, he wrecks half of them. You know, he gets into a lot of incidents, a lot of trouble with these paint schemes. But the Fastenal car is great. Sunny B car is great. The Fifth Third car. And now I heard John Deere's coming back, you know. John Deere holds kind of a place in my heart, obviously being part of a farming family. I have some of John Deere cars, like Chad Little. I have a bunch of it. I have a John Deere hauler. You know, I can't wait to see that, and I hope he runs that for a Darlington throwback. I might get that car if they make it in NASCAR Authentics. We'll see about that. So now, if I give this car a rating, I'm going to give it a top 5 finish. Now, Stenhouse, he wrecked probably half the cars in this paint scheme collab. You know, half of them DNF'd. What else could I have gotten? Chase Elliott's Mountain Dew. What, Kurt Busch State water heaters, but I kind of passed on those at the time. So, really, Stenhouse Jr., he wrecked his way to the top, like in the Cup Series, obviously. So, he takes the best paint scheme that I got from the Overtons 400, and then second title is Geico. And now, one thing, I was talking about how expensive these cars were, you know. I was gonna get the Overtons 400 promo car, but with how expensive these things are, I was a couple cents off. So, I mean, come on, Fanatics. I mean, what, these cars, I spent over $10 per car to get these. They need to lower them a little bit, but hey, I guess it worked for them. I was the one that bought these, wanted to get them in advance, so you know, they jacked up the prices and I decided to get them early. I just still think, you know, it should be $9.50. There's no way, you know, it's $10 and then you add in $1 worth of tax. I mean, that's ridiculous how, you know, you spend $10.50 when you can just buy these online for $8, $9. I think that's a little bit too much, but it is what it is. I decided to buy them, and I ultimately lost out on the Overtons 400 promo car. I'll have to look for that online somewhere. Get that maybe on eBay or Amazon, and life will be good, but it'll probably be $10 now. But anyways, that wraps up this special video from Chicagoland. I counted it. I have 4 cars remaining. Technically, so that wraps up this video, and I counted, I have 4 more standard series cars, the ones you buy online, not the NASCAR Authentics. I have 4 more of those coming in through the mail, and that will probably wrap up the paint scheme collab season, unless I decide to ask for anything for obviously my 18th birthday coming up in October, and then Christmas. Now, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm actually considering going a different direction. I want to get some of the retro Jeff Gordon cars, maybe some other retro race win stuff like that from Winner's Circle back in 2004, 2007. I might not get a couple of the, you know, 2018 cars. There's a couple like, you know, Matt Kenseth Wyndham Rewards, Chase Elliott Baja Blast. You know, there's a couple other cars. I put this on a NASCAR Authentics wish list. There's some cars I really want. There's some great paint schemes that are going to be coming out in the future. A couple of race wins I hope NASCAR Authentics makes. And I'm hoping that they put those in there, or otherwise I might have to ask for them for Christmas. So we'll have to see where that goes. But all I know is there are likely going to be 2 episodes left. The next one will probably be somewhere around late July, more than likely, unless I decide to group it with the next video. I have a batch coming in late August, I think. So we'll have to see. I'll have to make a decision on when to do those videos. So that's pretty much it. So if you guys went to Chicagoland, or if you guys went to Daytona, you know, and if you got an exclusive diecast, I'd like to hear about it. I mean, they might have had Eric Jones sports clips, or maybe, what, Allmendinger, Kroger, what, Danica Patrick's final ride, maybe a couple other ones. I'd like to hear that, or some other experience where you got an exclusive car. Life will be good.